And we're now on episode 2 of the Plus 3 podcast. How's everyone doing today?
Great.
I'm doing
Sunny.
wonderful.
Yeah? How was your weekend?
We had a great weekend. Up north, fireworks.
Mosquitoes.
Go Canada, go.
Yeah. Fireworks, mosquitoes. It sounds like Canada.
Yep. I have a huge mosquito bite on the back of my calf, and it's bugging the fuck out of me.
Perfect. Awesome. Great way to start off the weekend. It's Canada Day, folks. We're going to be getting right into our podcast here. So we have some new stuff to talk about. Stuff we didn't touch on last week, and as well as some new material. So I think we'll just jump right into it. John? If you
Yes.
want to take the helm.
Yes. This week I've played 3 new games. Well, not really. 2 of them are somewhat new. One of them is pretty old. It came out like a couple of years ago. But yeah, I'll start off with my friend Pedro. It is 2D stylus platform. I believe. Yeah, basically you're like this guy who can go into slow motion, and you can just like do all these cool style kills on like other enemies and stuff like that. Yeah, I beat it on Friday. It's a pretty short game. It took me like maybe around 4 hours to go through it all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like it's a fun game. Like if you don't care about the story, which I couldn't follow at all. I didn't know what the hell was going on. It's a pretty cool game. It can be like a bit repetitive, especially like if you don't really know how to play. Especially like 3 hours in, you're just like, okay, I'm still doing the same shit.
Wait, hold on. Is there a level difficulty that you can pick, or it just standard difficulty?
No, yeah, you can. I think there's like four difficulties. So there's like easy, which is obviously super easy. I played it on normal. So like the bullet time that you go into, like you basically have like a good solid like maybe 2 minutes with it, and every time you kill someone, it raises the bullet time again. And then I guess like on hard, there's a lot of checkpoints too on normal. And then when you get to hard, obviously the bullet time goes faster, less checkpoints, and then I think the last one has permadeath. So if you die in the level, you have to start the whole level again.
Imagine going 4 hours through a game on permadeath, and then like right at the very end, and you know you're at the end.
I know, but like I don't know.
Just for fun, you're gonna play it again.
Yeah,
Permadeath.
like I don't know if it's the permadeath for the whole game or if it's just like that one level. So like, because the levels are they're pretty long. I'd say they probably take around like 5 minutes to beat. I don't know, somewhere around there. Like obviously the beginning levels are pretty straightforward. It's a tutorial level. But yeah, the gameplay is pretty cool. Like there's a lot of like set pieces in the levels, so you can basically you'll find like a frying pan, and you can like kick that in the air, and then you can like shoot the frying pan, and the bullets will like scramble and like hit all the enemies like above and stuff like that. You can skateboard in the game, and like you could do tricks on it, and then like if you jump off the skateboard, you can also kick the skateboard into someone's face and stuff.
So were you playing
So
with mouse and
hold
keyboard? Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Inventory wise, is this in your inventory, or you just pick it up along the way, like each level?
No, so it's all like set pieces. So like randomly in the level, you'll just see a skateboard, and then you can just like jump on it, and then you'll start skateboarding in the level. And it's cool. Like once you when you jump, when you're on the skateboard, it will do like kick flips or like heel flips and stuff like that. And what else is there in the game?
Well, Evan wanted to say something too.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say, because there's a lot of games out there that have things you can do with the environment, right? Like for some reason, I'm thinking of Diablo 3 right off the bat. But I remember there's not a lot you can do with the set pieces in the levels. So it sounds like in this game, they actually do play a huge part in the game.
Yeah, you can tell it's all set up. Like there's like some parts where there's a barrel, and you have to like shoot the wood, and then the barrel will slowly slide down the ramp, and then it will fall onto an enemy and stuff like that.
Is there explosives?
Yeah. Like there's explosive barrels and like the nitrogen canisters where you shoot and they'll like go flying, like in Just Cause 2.
I remember Just Cause 2.
Yeah.
I like the range of what Devolver Digital can come out with platformers. It's insane. I think every platformer is different.
Yeah, like
that
they published this game. I forget the company who made this game.
They published it. They didn't develop it.
No, I don't think they developed it.
Okay.
So
But
Devolver Digital published it, but didn't. Okay.
I think so.
I thought they were more of a developer.
I think they do. Maybe they have a hand in some of the stuff, but I'm pretty sure that it was a different developer. The music is really good in it, though.
Oh yeah.
Like it's yeah, like it.
What type of music?
It's like EDM. You know,
Dubstep?
drop in the bass. Yeah, exactly
Slap in
that.
the bass. Slap in the bass.
Slap in the
So you're
bass.
slapping the bass while you're playing My Friend Pedro.
Yeah, like it's enjoyable. Like
Who is Pedro?
dude,
Yeah, who is Pedro?
they actually
The banana, right?
Well, that's another thing. You talk to a banana
That's cool.
in the game. Like it kind of like tells you what to do in the game. Like he's like whenever there's like a new tutorial, he'll talk to you and stuff like that. But it's really, really fucking weird.
That sounds like a really awesome feature. I actually would personally. I've always been looking for a game where you can talk to a banana. I don't know about you guys, but I'm glad it's finally here.
Well, I grew up talking to a paperclip in Microsoft Word.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And I enjoyed it. And you changed it to a dog. And then what else did you change it to?
I think it was like
I forget. Was that when XP came out?
Yeah, I think so.
No.
I don't know.
I loved it. I love stuff like that, like talking to a role model who, like Yoda. You're
Yoda?
right? It's Yoda, right?
Or
who?
Bonzi Buddy?
Like someone that's wise, that's like an animal, it's your role model, or like an object.
Well, you could consider Yoda as an
Like that's
object.
why everyone loves Beauty and the Beast. You're fucking talking to a candlestick, and it's great.
Yeah. Yes. And so in this case, My Friend Pedro, you have a wise banana.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think the only like the game in full it's really cool. The ending, that's when it just gets really fucking weird.
Oh yeah, spoil the ending for us. Let's go.
I don't want to spoil it, but
No spoilers.
it's pretty
There's a story.
it's pretty fucking weird. Like, no, there's no story. It just like goes from like 50%. You're like, okay, yeah, I'm just enjoying. Then all of a sudden, just goes like 100% craziness, and you're like, wow, what the fuck's going on?
Is it
Like if you guys just don't want to like play the game and you just want to see the ending, just YouTube it. It's obviously
And more
something.
importantly, it's on sale on Steam.
Yeah, that's true. We're entering sale season. That's a thing. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's
It's $18, I think, on Steam.
$18?
I think so.
Canadian?
Yes. And then the next game I was playing, I've been playing for a while now, is Assassin's Creed Origins. I'm kind of late on it, but I got it during a Humble Monthly sale. Or not sale, Humble Monthly. They were giving that away. So I was like, you know what? I've played most of the Assassin's Creed games. I should just try it.
Yeah.
It's actually really freaking good.
So what's good about it? What's your favorite?
So if you've played all the other Assassin's Creed games, usually you can kind of tell like, okay, this Assassin's Creed is going to be like the other one. Like they just added like new abilities or new kill moves or whatever, like new cities. But like this one, I feel like they've taken their time. And I think at the time when Witcher 3 came out, they're like, okay, we've been playing a lot of Witcher 3. A lot of people like Witcher 3. Let's make a game similar to Witcher 3.
That's a
And it literally-
a very simple train of thought.
It plays exactly like, well, not exactly,
Whoa.
but close.
You're saying Ubisoft was like CD Projekt?
No, Ubisoft is
They're
nothing
basically
like
the same. Yeah, I mean, like whenever CD Projekt
Nah.
Red releases one game every 10 years, Ubisoft does 1 to 3 every year. Basically the same.
Yeah.
thing. Ubisoft downloads
But,
games anyway.
They
The
really take their time.
game is good though. Like it, there's so many side quests in the game that every time when you do a new one, it's completely different. They've worked. You could tell that they've worked really hard on making sure the side quests are not repetitive. At times, the map is fucking huge. Like it's gigantic. The thing about open world games for me is like I have to do everything in the map before I do any of the main missions. So right now, like I just basically level up the character, and then like by the time I actually have to do the the main quest, I'm way above the level that I should be doing it. But it's really cool. The story is still generic. Like, it's the typical, my son died, I'm going to avenge him type thing.
Fetch me a Pilawata boy.
Yeah, like, I don't know. It's kind of generic. A lot of games have already done that, but I'm still kind of invested in it. Like, the main character is good. Like, the voice acting is good and everything. So it's, I still do want to know what goes on in the game. I'm 35 hours into it, maybe just over 50% done. So I still have a shitload to do. The fighting mechanics completely different. I feel like it's like a 1v1.
Okay.
So like when you have like multiple people, that you're fighting, only one person will come and attack you. It's really rare to like have like 3 people attack you at the same time. Yeah, but you could just tell like it feels fresh, like a brand new Assassin's Creed. Like you could tell whenever they take time off and not release an Assassin's Creed game every year, like Call of Duty, and they just work on it, and we're like, okay, we're going to take 3 years to work on this game, or 4 years or whatever. Like, it comes out nice and polished and like no issues whatsoever.
So is that what they did with this one?
Yeah, they worked on it. Like, yeah, they released it like, I think 3 years ago. I could be wrong.
This is the one before Odyssey, right?
Yeah.
And it's weird because this one is way more popular with people. Way more popular.
Yeah.
I don't know what. I'm trying to think of why that is, because I haven't played Origins, but I play Odyssey. So I'm currently playing through Odyssey very slowly. But
yeah, and I could tell too when I was watching you stream it, it was more action, whereas Origins, like, I play it really stealthily.
But I imagine Origins was probably the development and release of a new engine, I'm guessing. It must have been. And then like they probably so the development of Origins was very likely they were building in an engine to make a game first. And so basically one half of all of the game's development was building the engine, and then the other half was actually like, okay, we'll start making a game with it. And then you got Origins. So
which part of Ubisoft develops Assassin's Creed? Is it Montreal, or are they different studios?
I think there's multiple. So I think Montreal did Origins, or maybe Toronto did Origins. I can't remember.
I feel like Montreal comes with better quality games.
Better, or
I don't know. Toronto's like, I think as well, but I think Montreal.
Yeah, Montreal was.
Montreal's. Yeah.
Well, I mean, technically they're a developer from France, so I think France is the OG. But
yeah, it's good. Yeah. It's really, really good. Like, I'm really late to the party with that, but I'm enjoying it. Like, I'm taking my time with it. I'm not really rushing through it. I could probably put like 6 hours into it in a day, maybe more. It's good.
Right on.
The last game I played, I maybe put me like 40 hours into it, or not 40 hours, 40 minutes into it. And it's called Ape Out. It's a top-down action. Yeah, top-down action game where you're the ape, and you have to escape prison. And what you do is
you're an ape.
You basically, and you have to. There's 2 abilities that you can do with this ape. You can either push the enemy into the wall, or you can grab onto an enemy, and usually most of the enemies have shotguns and stuff. You can grab them, and then they will shoot once, and then you can just throw them into the wall. So you can like grab one, you can chain react. So you can like grab one, they'll shoot another enemy in the room, then you can throw the enemy that you're holding into another enemy, and then you just keep on going. It's a simple game, but it's really fucking fun.
So you're an ape and you have to escape. You're an ape and you have to escape.
Yes. Like,
it sounds a little bit familiar. I don't know.
But not at all, no. Like, actually.
No.
The levels, I think, are randomly generated. I could be wrong on that, but I feel like, because once you die, basically when it zooms out and it spells out dead, but the way that it spells dead out is it's basically the whole level, and then it shows you your like the way that you went into the level, and every time it's completely different. But I could
hold
be
on
wrong.
Is it like a dungeon
like roguelike?
Yeah, like, is it?
No, it's just like if you die, and you just start at the beginning, and then you just move on. There's no abilities or anything. It's just
So that's
there's new enemies like new enemies where you'll the farthest I've gone, I didn't really get that far, but new enemies came up. They were like they would throw bombs. So and then if you like grab them, they have like backpacks with bombs in them. So if you like throw them into the wall, it will just anything they touch when you throw them, they'll just explode and
Do
they can
chase
kill.
you?
They have
Have
guns
you
as
tried,
well.
like
What do you
going
mean?
as fast as you can through the prison?
No, I haven't. Yet I try to avoid them as best as I can.
What's the art style like?
It's really cool. Like the art, there's not a lot of like detailed art into it. It's all different colors. So like the ape that you are is orange, and then everything around you is just like static, like gray or whatever. And then like the farther you get, it changes. So like at one point, I had the alarm go off, and then basically the whole level turned red, and then the alarm light was white. So everything that was around you was white. Like if you got close to the alarm light and all that stuff.
When I saw you play it, instantly the color, I'm like, this game looks amazing.
Yeah, it's a really cool art style. A lot of games don't really do that.
Color's a big deal in games.
So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
I think it's hard to pick color.
Evan, you remember the game Cube Field, where like you're dodging all the cubes, and the
Yeah.
farther you get,
Yeah.
and then the levels, the colors change.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's literally like that.
Okay, so it's like it indicates what your progress is in the game and stuff.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, exactly.
You get more interesting colors as you get further out.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine that you're trying to get out into a forest. So naturally, the forest is more colorful than the inside of a prison.
Yeah, like I haven't gotten really that far. I'm still in the prison, so I'll probably play more of that today. But
Is it?
No,
Yeah.
Evan, there's no way because they put a banana at the exit and the ape chooses a banana and they just start him again.
Really? Banana games. That's like
Non-stop.
the summer's theme.
non-stop action.
And bananas. I want to see more banana games. For sure.
Actually, yeah, that's two games that I've talked about this podcast that has
That's
two
true.
bananas. in it.
Anything with fruit, I'm in.
Yeah. Okay. Right on. Christina, what do you got for us today?
Yes. Well, I thought I could start with probably the majority of what we've played together on PC is World War Z.
Yes. Classic. Very good.
Really,
game.
really good game. It's actually the only reason why I downloaded the Epic desktop ad.
The wonderful, wonderful Epic app.
Yeah,
I love it so
the Epic
much.
Store.
It just works so well.
I have no complaints. People rip into it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm all for it.
Yeah,
'Cause I
sure.
like it.
mean, the store is okay, I guess, but that's a whole other. We should make a podcast that's about talking shit about stupid software.
Well,
I'd love to be the host of
I'll
that.
draw the line though. Like Epic, Steam, that's it. I draw the line. Like if
Oh,
there's
good.
more than that, that's when it gets too crazy. Like what is it, Stadia?
Stadia. Well, Stadia is a bit different. We can talk about
Yeah.
that later. Actually, I have a bit
Yeah,
to say
yeah.
about that.
Anyways,
Yeah.
World War Z. We all enjoy it.
We do.
Like I've actually only done 2 characters, I think.
So the thing about World War Z, it reminds me so much of, but so much better.
Left 4 Dead. Yeah. Yes.
It's just World War Z plays so like I don't know what it is.
World War Z is totally what Left 4 Dead should have been. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I say that over and over again. You guys hear me say that all the time, but
Well, yeah. So World War Z, we didn't even explain what it was if people don't know what it is. But
right.
another zombie game, Left 4 Dead style, where third person, where you can go out with a group of 4, either online. There's no split screen though.
Mhm.
You never know. It's out on console, right?
It is. Yeah.
You never know. They might do split screen, and yeah, you're just shooting zombies together, going through different levels, and there's quite a bit. I think there's like almost 20
Yeah, they're in their
20 though, yeah.
they're
in different cities as well.
yeah, they just added a new
Yeah.
thing for Tokyo, I think, a
Hmm
couple months ago. Still haven't played that.
Free updates, so I'm guessing free DLC.
Yep.
Yeah, you're just going out there, and they're huge zombie waves. So I don't know if anyone's seen the World War Z movies. It's like at that speed, and a lot of them coming at you. So you have to like work together. There's grenade launchers. There's heavy weapons that you can use. You also level up your ability tree, and that kind of actually works because some stuff like helps the whole team all around.
Yeah, like
Different abilities
the
that
one
you unlock.
the one character that I had a chance to when you pick up a toolkit to like place down when the zombies come in, I had a 10% chance to be when you place one of those turrets down, it would give you an extra one.
Yeah,
So
it's pretty sweet.
it works. It's really weird. It's really weird how it works, but like
My favorite though is the breaching charge. We're all about the breaching
Oh, yeah.
charges. There's these like, if the people are listening and don't know, is like there's these like hidden like doors, secret doors, and the way to open them was with the breaching charge. And usually you don't start with any of them. You have to find them within the world. And we get so excited when one person's carrying one, so we know that like towards the end of the level, you're gonna need to stock up on those. But there's an ability on your tree where you can actually unlock that you start with one. So that's the character that I picked.
the only shitty thing about like breaching doors is when you breach a door and there's fuck all in it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just
that sucks.
2 chainsaws, which we'd never use, even though it's one of the strongest weapons. But it's like 2 chainsaws, no, turrets or anything that you can use, or like it's a grenade launcher, which we never use.
Now that I think about it, they copied Horde in Gears of War because that's what started it. You're like getting all these defenses before starting a huge like wave.
Yeah, I like it.
What'd you think of the new zombie, by the way? Sorry, Evan.
Oh.
But what'd you think of the new zombie, Christina,
For what?
for World War Z?
Yeah, the spitter.
The
thing,
infection
or
one.
Like the
Yeah.
You know what? It's hard because then you have to. It kind of delays while you're healing yourself from the poison.
Yeah.
And it slows you down and it slowly kills you. So you pretty much are forced to stop, which you can't really because there's zombies chasing you, and like obviously heal yourself, and then you have to kill these zombies that are literally coming at you.
Man, overall, World War Z.
Great game.
It just seems like it's a game for the people. It was made for the people to play it. It's not like it was surprising to me. I totally forget that the game is based on a movie. It's based on a movie I haven't seen, so it makes no difference to me.
Yeah.
But it could easily just be its own standalone thing. And I think it's.
Whoa.
I know. I don't watch movies.
You didn't watch a zombie movie with Brad Pitt?
I'm not. Brad Pitt's in it, really?
Yeah.
Brad Mother effing Pitt.
I don't know. I'm not really a movie guy. I have a gigantic backlog of movies to watch. Far bigger than John's backlog of games he has to play, I think. And again.
Yeah, we should just send you a USB stick with like 1,500 movies you need to watch.
Yeah.
So whenever World War Z got
And
announced,
none of them comedies.
whenever World War Z got announced, I remember the creators of Payday 2 were coming out with the Walking Dead game. And for some reason, I thought, because Payday 2 did amazing, like the developers for that game, like I thought they were gonna just kill the Walking Dead game, like make it really good. And I was like, oh, World War Z looks, half-assed, like it's not gonna do well. And it's the complete opposite. The Walking Dead game that the developers made that worked on Payday is, I don't even think it released for the consoles. They canceled it. Like it plays like if you ever watch a video of the Walking Dead game, it's bad. It's horrible.
Interesting.
And the World War Z game that came out now, it's hit so many milestones.
Yeah.
That I'm still gonna play it, especially like with the
I
new
feel
DLC.
like not a lot of people know about it though.
No, it's
Like,
kind of
hit a lot
under the radar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is very under the radar.
But I
Yeah.
appreciate that actually. It's one of those games that, in some ways, it deserves to be under the radar, but it also doesn't. Like it's a good quality game. I'm so afraid that some big company somewhere is going to touch it and add microtransactions and all that because it doesn't have any of that
Oh,
stuff.
God.
Which it makes it perfect. It's like
Mhm.
I reminisce about the old Valve days of gaming. Back when Counter Strike,
man.
Half-Life, Team Fortress 2, when those games came out, those are quality games. They are the greatest. And World War Z
I wonder
kind of
if you could-
reminds me of that era of gaming.
It's so smooth.
Oh yeah,
Like, it's so
great
smooth
engine,
when you play it.
greatest
Yeah.
performance
Well,
I've seen in a game
yeah.
in years.
The only thing that was really disappointing is that you couldn't even invite people. Only certain people
Oh,
could invite.
Yeah, that's
Other
That's
friends.
a pretty big bug. It's a pretty important bug.
I don't know if that's just specific to your accounts. Like, I don't know how that's happening, but I can only invite. That doesn't make sense.
It's specific
Yeah,
to PC,
like-
apparently.
Yeah, They did a hot fix for it, but I don't think it fixed it.
I don't think the fix was very hot, John.
No, it wasn't. It was
All
ice
right.
cold. Ice, baby.
I'm gonna move on. Project NX.
Yeah.
So I don't know if people know.
Yeah. let's
There's
hear
this
about
modder who also streams. I don't know if he goes by NYX or his real name Felipe.
that. Okay.
He's from Chile.
Chile.
Yeah, so he's a modder. He made the famous Project M, which was basically combined Melee with Smash, and it just gave gamers like just a faster way of kicking ass. Like I don't know, like you basically can air dash and it'll cancel out. You can load up your Smash attack right away.
Mm.
So it's like just gives players an advantage pretty much, and it just makes tournaments funner and crazy, and it's insane.
Oh, it's used for tournaments?
1 minute you're so it's used for tournaments.
Oh,
Like
okay.
it is unfair. I mean, you can air dash really quick and then quickly smash attack someone, which there's probably a reason why Nintendo left that out. But it's just fun. It's really fun to play with your friends, and he decided to make an NX version, which is combining the brand new Ultimate with the older versions of Melee, 64, and Smash. And he added a couple new techniques. I'm sure he'll add skins or whatnot, but for now, he's only using it for himself. He's saying for practicing purposes, which I think, because John mentioned.
Yeah, so it's because Nintendo is so big on making sure no one else uses their licenses and stuff like that. Like, I think just 2 weeks ago or a week ago, someone made a Mario Battle Royale game. So it was like the first Mario game and like 100 people. Yeah, and then they shut it down, right? So I think he's just worried that, you know, Nintendo's gonna do a cease and desist type thing and make him cancel. And it's kind of hard whenever you work on something and then you show someone and then it gets really well known, and then the journalists, you know, like Kotaku or someone just kind of writes a small article about it, then like everyone knows about it, and then that's when Nintendo kind of goes and hits them, right?
I have a tooth to pick with Nintendo though. I love them so much, but the fact that they want to keep their like exclusivity and like they want to be rare still, so like GameCube games and Game Boy games and whatever, like they just all retain their value.
They do.
Mhm.
Yep.
So like nothing goes on sale rare.
Oh.
If it is, it's like $20
Yeah,
cheaper.
yeah. It's just the taxes.
Anything that's released to the Switch is like what Binding of Isaac was $49.99 when it's $10 on Steam.
Yep.
Like,
And that game's been out for years. Like I was playing that, I think, when I was just at the end of high school, going into college, I believe. So like,
You're just a little baby.
I was a little baby when I was playing Binding of Isaac. I was literally Binding of Isaac.
You were Isaac.
And yeah, and literally,
were you crying blood?
I was crying tears.
Oh yeah, I was there. I remember.
Yeah,
That's true.
and yeah, then they ship it on the Switch, and it's like,
I don't know. I love Nintendo, but like when they announced the NES Mini, they like sold out in like 3 seconds.
have one.
They're like,
I actually.
we're not making. Yeah, I know. We're not making anymore. But then like a year or two later, they're like, we're actually gonna remake these.
Yeah, it seems like no company would really seriously follow that, honestly, because it's anything that has the potential to make money, especially nostalgia, because nostalgia is huge, right? It's like one of the biggest things that sells anything.
Yeah.
So as soon as you come up with an idea that people are like, what? They're gonna do it again. And in fact, you can probably still go and get another. They're probably still producing these.
Oh yeah, and I can see them going to the GameCube Mini for sure.
GameCube Mini or the Nintendo 64 Mini?
Oh yeah, that has to go first. I forgot
A
about
GameCube
that.
Mini
think-
would be harder to like. It can definitely be fully emulated on a PC. So that means that the technology is there to at least, you know.
Well, the thing about the small minis is I think they just kind of use the Raspberry Pis.
Yeah, they do for those. Yeah.
So like, I think the GameCube could work on a Raspberry Pi. I could be wrong, but
you would need separate graphics processing, which they don't have built into the Pi. So I think
I actually don't want them to do that because I love my GameCube the way it is.
yeah.
I don't think you'll see that for.
Do I want to play every single GameCube game? No, there's a lot of garbage out there.
Yeah, true.
I would like a Nintendo 64, and there's also rumors that they're going to do a Game Boy one.
Yeah, well, there's not really any point in doing a Game Boy one.
No, not really.
No, not really. But
everyone knows how to just emulate those. You just grab GBA temp.
There's friggin' Game Boy phone emulators with the case.
Yeah.
But yeah, those look.
Yep.
I would want one of those.
I don't know. Game Boy wasn't a very big hit in my life. GameCube was though, but it's harder to create a mini classic version of one of those. If they did, it'd be pretty expensive. It'd be like over $100. Actually, the mini Nintendos were more than that, weren't they? At one point.
They sold for 100, but then because they only made a certain amount, people were selling them for a shitload on like eBay and stuff.
I feel so bad that people have spent like $300 on Amazon.
Yeah.
When they could have just waited and they got it on sale at EB Games.
Well, look at us. We bought the PlayStation Classic for $100, and now you can get. Yeah. Best Buy is giving them away.
Messed up.
Like, hey, if you buy a PS4, we'll give you a PlayStation Classic. Like, we don't want them in our stock anymore.
And people are like, nope, I don't want PS4. Nope, I don't want a PlayStation Classic.
Yeah. But the thing is, I like the PlayStation Classic.
Well, you modded it.
No, well, yeah, I modded it, but I made it better.
No, yeah. If you people didn't have it modded, you have like some okay games that you'd actually play.
Like the games that got released for the PlayStation Classic, some of them were good, like Siphon Filter.
The other one.
What other games?
Out of all the games.
Yeah, what are the other games?
I don't know. The selection was pretty meh, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's
maybe
not good.
There's games
Ridge
that
Racer
other people connected with, but not myself.
Yeah.
All right, let's steer back into direction.
Right.
Overall, Nintendo.
Yeah.
Make your general.
Figure it out, guys.
Yeah, just figure your crap out.
Figure it out.
Anyways.
They do have it figured out. They have so much money.
I know.
Yeah,
they did the Switch.
We're talking shit, but they're doing totally fine.
You know what? They probably have a lot of stock in Japan. Like, as in, like, what they release there.
Oh, for
There's
sure.
a lot of people that live in Japan, so they're like,
Oh,
Japan
God, yeah.
gets everything.
Japan has the entire market of, like, all of the older PlayStation consoles right now, like Vita.
You know what? Where's Reggie? Like, bring Reggie back.
Oh, Reggie.
Reggie,
Yeah,
Mother Who's that guy? His name's Bowser?
Yeah, Bowser.
Yeah, the new guy.
Is that actually his name?
Yeah, it's his last name.
Dave Bowser or something.
God.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Just Nintendo release Mother 3. Just do it.
Okay.
Please.
My turn. So, I've been playing through Oblivion on Twitch with my wonderful audience watching me and helping me do it. It's funny because I actually have not beaten that game. And, well, there's a reason why I'm talking about Oblivion. I'm going to talk about other stuff after. But, yeah, I've had people actually helping me go through the main quest of the game. Back when I played it, which was like when it released, so like 2004? Something like that.
Sound like that, yeah.
On the original Xbox, right?
No.
It came out on PC before anything else.
Yeah.
Very old. So, like, and I remember my brother got it and I was kind of watching him and I had no clue what was going on. I was also quite a bit younger. But anyway. So, I remember back then I would tinker with the game and just replay the intro over and over again. Because I didn't understand RPGs. I still don't. But, yeah, and it just... The engine is what blew me away, right? The graphics were so ahead of their time.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Like, I remember whenever they announced that at E3, whatever year that E3 was, they put out a demo which included soft shadow technology. So it's basically like, if you know what ambient occlusion is in modern games, it's like each little object has its own little shadow cast underneath it, like a really light, soft shadow kind of thing.
Well, that's to give the illusion of reality, right?
Yeah.
Like 3D. Yeah.
Yeah. So rather than just have like a pure black shadow on everything, some stuff has like if something is close to a corner, like you can see its shadow against the corner and stuff like that. Anyway, it's like a more detailed version of a shadow. Soft shadowing is, I guess I won't go too deep into this because I could talk about it for hours. But in short, they had developed, they had the first game to really have this really advanced shadow technology. And when they showcased it, it was like incredible. Like blew me away, blew everyone away. But then when it came time to release the game, a report came out and they were like, yeah, our demo PC actually melted from running our demo, so we had to remove the soft shadow feature. It's like, oh, okay. But
that's too good.
Playing the game now on a GTX 1080, which is far better than anything you could have had back then, it's still, elements of it hold up. Maybe not graphically, but like they had the technology of the mouth moving with the dialogue. Like that's pretty crazy.
Oh man, just all the dialogue that was in that game is just insane. Like I wonder what the script looked like how thick it was.
Oh, man. Huge for sure.
But like there's a bit of Easter eggs in there where, well, I wouldn't consider it an Easter egg, but there's so many scripts in that game that like there's one where a girl's like talking and then at the end it's not even part of the script and she's like, was that good? But they like left it in the game. So she's like talking to the person who's like recording, like, oh, is that good? Should I do that again? And like the person in the game's like mouth is still moving.
Yeah, I think that actually happens at the end of the game, like the end of the mission, which I haven't seen yet. So I'm gonna actually
keep your eyes out for it. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, it's great.
Yeah, I'm gonna let it be a surprise. I've heard of it. I'm just hoping to run into it. Anyway, so I'm playing through Oblivion on Twitch. I'll plug my Twitch channel later so you guys can follow it and watch me play it.
My favorite part was you sliding down a hill trying to arrow someone.
Oh yeah,
The graphics were just amazing.
yeah, like the whole textures on the ground and stuff. Textures suck in that game, but anyway.
Yeah, because I was comparing it to, I was playing ESO.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh, yours looks great.
Yeah, I'd have to check out how, because the new
Heaven, just buy it on Steam, $12 ESO.
But it's an
worth
MMO.
it.
I'm not an MMO guy.
I don't even think about it like that, and just play it, and then just critique it. I'll even give you $12 if you don't like it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe someone.
That's
maybe
how
you guys
much
can
I
donate
trust.
$12 to watch. If you guys want to
Yeah,
watch me play ESO, give me money and I'll buy it and I'll play it for you. Okay, so how would you say that Oblivion and ESO compare? Like, would I have the same experience? Would it be different? Like, what are the main similarities between those two? Since you're playing ESO and I haven't tried it.
It's the same. It's the same crap. Like, you can still go at your own pace. Like, I know you like to play games slow.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, either stealth or fight a bunch of random people for like an hour. Like, you can still do all that. And honestly, the people online, it helps. Like, when you're going into a dungeon or something, like the other day, it was so hard. Like, all the enemies and stuff were way higher level than I was. So having NPCs in the game, it's very helpful. And you don't feel alone, you're not dying. Like, I didn't die, like, I was telling John, for like 3-4 days of playing that game. Which to me is like unheard of when you're playing a solo campaign. So why not have that MMO aspect where you have NPCs, where you have people that can help you in that point?
Yeah, I'm sure it can add to the experience, because really the only thing missing from Oblivion is it has everything else except for like the fast-paced feeling and like the here and now, like this is happening in real time kind of thing.
Yeah, like you'll definitely see it. Well, if you're going from Oblivion to ESO, there's going to be obviously big things that you'll see changed, but I feel like it plays like an MMO, but it doesn't feel too like unattached from like any other Elder Scrolls game. Like, you know how
it feels fresh.
Yeah, like a lot of people, when it first, I think it was like the beta, people were pissed because you weren't in first person mode and you weren't being on your own. It was just like, you know, person, you'd click somewhere and you'd go there, like World of Warcraft and all that stuff.
Right.
But people were pissed off about that, and they changed it to, you know, being able to go into third person mode and first person mode and moving the way that you want and kind of playing more like Skyrim or Oblivion.
Yeah, that is pretty sick. I'm happy about that. Like, just adding the first person element to it would totally change the experience for me.
And they listen to their audience. They really listen to the fans. They're almost like Destiny in a way, where they're continuously trying to correct it, make it better.
That's good.
I'm not saying Destiny should ever be compared to ESO, because it's not. But yeah, I don't know. ESO's great.
Oh,
you gotta try it.
I'm gonna have to check it out. I think. Anyway,
Yeah, you might as well just try it.
well, either that or I want to wait for, which is what I'm leading into next. I want to wait for Elder Scrolls 6. So when I was on Twitch, there was a dude there. He claimed to be what did he say? I think he said an Elder Scrolls veteran. Like he knows all of the lore and stuff, and he played through all of the games several times. I can't even imagine how long that would take. Like that's insane to me.
God.
And he was like telling me stories about the lore and stuff. Like he was explaining to me the history of what happens in Redfall. So Redfall is one of the provinces of the whole kingdom, right? Of Cyrodiil. So like Skyrim is a province, right? Morrowind is a province. Hammerfell is a province. So the new Elder Scrolls is taking place in a new province, just like the other ones did. So we had like, I think, the first two Elder Scrolls games took place the whole world. And then you had Morrowind, which just focused on the one province of Morrowind. And Oblivion, which was like kind of more central Imperial area. And then Skyrim, which was just the province of Skyrim. So Elder Scrolls 6 is going to take place in Hammerfell, which is like mostly like desert area. And that's where Redfall is. So I think...
I wonder how they're going to do that.
Yeah, like what the dude explained to me is I was telling him, I'm like, man, I hope the environments are better than Skyrim, because honestly, I find Skyrim just so bleak and boring. I wouldn't go near it with a 10-foot pole. I really wish that the whole game was in a different world, because just having snow in a game, it's like I already live in Canada. I can just go outside and see snow for most of the year.
Yeah, but man, Skyrim had dragons.
Yeah, whatever.
Throw dragons into any game and it makes it so much better.
Dragons. But yeah, ESO, like when they were doing the E3 thing, like, and guess what? There's dragons now. The 10 dudes in the front were like, wow. That's right, 10 dudes in the front. We're building this game for you.
You're laughing though, but I was pumped during that moment because we watched it live, and I'm like, yeah, dragons.
Well, really, like,
use dragons.
To me, all it is it's just an instance battle. It's just like there's a boss, and then you can raid the dragon. Cool. It's a raidable.
No,
thing.
It was right at the end of the Game of Thrones hype because we just finished the season with all the dragons. Obviously, we're like, hell yeah, bring on the dragons.
So dragons are trending right now. # dragons.
Yeah, Game of Thrones.
But
Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones.
On a good, no, we won't go there. On a different note though, on Elder Scrolls 6, so the dude described Hammerfell as being mostly desert area, but with desert, there's usually a coast somewhere. So what he was expecting and what his prediction was is that there's going to be a coastal area, which would have like a beach, a lot of green scenery, a lot of paradise type scenery, crabs, tons of crabs. Man, I'm really excited for crabs. And best part of all, what else do you have on the coast? Bananas. Bananas grow on the coast.
I was going to say dragons.
They're going to have coastal dragons and bananas. I think that's going to be the selling point for me.
Yeah, like I really hope. Like, how does this guy know all this shit? Like, how does he know it's going to be in Redfall or have?
Well, so far everything in the Elder Scrolls world, the lore is already made. Like the whole story of everything has already basically been written. From what he means.
I'm sure he's right.
He could be, because he was explaining to me the reason why he was able to connect the dots with that is because I think he said it's about what happens in that province in Hammerfell and in Redfall. There's two factions that are fighting each other. He went into detail about it, and I was like, wait, is that like the same faction as this one mission in Skyrim where blah blah blah? He's like, yeah, actually it's the same thing. And I was like, no way. It was actually...
That's fucking cool.
It was... So that one mission in Skyrim could have been, like, roughly explaining the conflict between the factions that's happening in that province. I can't remember. It was some Alik'r warriors looking for a Redguard woman. It's one of the first missions that you do in Skyrim. Anyway, I don't remember exactly what you're doing, but... So that was a potential explanation or overview for what's going on in the world at the time of Elder Scrolls 6. So I'm pumped for that.
Yeah, it sounds really cool. Like I'm always a big fan of Elder Scrolls games. Like Skyrim, I've never beaten. I'm still in need to meet the Greybeards, but I've traveled the whole map. I've went to every cave. I've reached maximum level, and I still haven't reached the Greybeards. And I probably never will.
It's alright. It all looks the same. It's just you take snow and then raise it on a mountain and then put a thing there. That's really all it is. Elder Scrolls 6. So what's next? What else do I have here? Oh yeah, Half-Life 3.
Confirmed. Half-Life 3 confirmed. Oh my god. Oh.
No, I wish, but instead we have Project Borealis, which is a game that I'm following very closely. For those who don't know,
it looks really sick.
Oh yeah, totally. It's a fan-made sequel to Half-Life 2 Episode 2. It's basically the Episode 3 that we never got. So for some context, last year at some point, I don't know, I think it was last year. Anyway, Mark Laidlaw, one of the key writers on the Half-Life project, he left Valve sometime after the development of Half-Life 2 Episode 2. And there was a lot of silence, as everybody in the universe knows, on the development of Half-Life 2. But then suddenly, probably 13, 14 years after anything has been said about the Half-Life 2 series at all, Mark Laidlaw has a little blog on his personal website, and he writes a fan fiction, a quote-unquote fan fiction, because he's actually the writer of Half-Life 2. He wrote a fan fiction actually laying out what he intended the ending of Episode 2 to be. So he wrote a short paragraph. He was writing as Gordon Freeman, but he switched all the names around of all the characters.
Yeah.
So Gordon Freeman was Gertie Fremont or something, and then Alex Vance was Eli Vince. I don't know.
It was actually really hard to follow because I tried reading it and I was like, I'm lost. I can't figure out these names. I can't attach them to any of the characters. Yeah, it was really weird.
Yeah, it was very weird. But he intended it to be mysterious and weird, right? Because he's trying to sum up the whole what was supposed to happen in Episode 3 into a few paragraphs. But he's also trying to do it secretly and discreetly to give the readers some fun to figure it out or whatever. Anyway, so he laid out what Episode 3 was supposed to be. And it is actually supposed to be the ending of the series. It was supposed to finish there and never happened. So once he released that, everyone went insane, basically. But it was still under the radar enough that it didn't become major publication. Probably because it wasn't directly labeled as Half-Life 3. Or anyway.
Yeah.
So this was released. I read it over about 10 times. Pretty close to memorize the thing. I think I have a good handle on what's going to go on with the story. But then I find out that there's this company, this group of really dedicated fans of Half-Life who are also developers. They started a small dev company just for this project. And they're actually making a really faithful Half-Life 2 fan sequel. And so
it looks really cool.
Oh yeah. What they did was they basically took the source engine from Half-Life 2 and rebuilt it in Unreal 4. So all of the same stuff from Half-Life 2, the gravity gun, the user interface with the health and the armor, all the Combine soldiers, all the physics and everything, they rebuilt it, and it all exists as it, exact same in Unreal Engine 4, has better graphics. They even added new features too, a whole bunch of it. They made some changes to the physics and stuff.
Have you tried the tech demo?
No. I only heard about that very recently, and I think I want to check it out.
When was that?
I don't know.
It came out a couple months ago.
Do they have a release date? Is that why?
No.
Oh. This thing is a very slow work in progress.
Yeah, it'll be done when it's done. I think because they have other jobs too, right? So they only work on it at whenever. But
yeah, it's a passion.
They're really. Yeah, they're if something, because I think...
So 10 years?
Yeah, it could be.
Maybe never. It's just Half-Life 3.
Well, it's already been 14 or 15 years. What's another 10? You're not even going to notice it go by.
But they're so dedicated to it where... Oh, me too. But they're so dedicated to the point where, I think they made Freeman, hold the pistol with two hands in the tech demo. And everyone who played it was what are you doing? You're ruining the game. He doesn't hold the pistol with two hands. He holds it with one hand. And they're oh, we're just trying to make it more realistic.
It's
holding a gun with two hands. And they're no, put one hand. It has to be the exact same. And they're okay, yeah, no worries. We'll fix it. And or the same thing with the machine gun with the secondary fire with the grenade. You don't actually see a grenade launcher underneath the machine gun. but you can still shoot grenades, right?
Mhm.
So they did the same thing. They added a small grenade launcher under the machine gun, and everyone's like, no, like that did not exist in Half-Life 2. Like, get rid of it. They're like, okay, yeah, we'll get rid of it.
Yeah.
They're really dedicated to it, which is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, well, they're developing as fans, so no matter what, it's a 100% a fan project. It's not like one company like, well, we're gonna kind of do what we want, and then we'll, make microtransactions. No, it's just like straight up fans are making it. They actually they have a small team on payroll, but things are still very much not structured like a large company because it's a small indie company making it basically.
Yeah.
I find it insane that like people will become modders because they love that game so much and they want to make an alternate storyline or something added to it.
Yeah, modders are crazy. I super dedicated people. Like anybody who takes a game and like, oh, we're gonna fix the game for you and make it better graphics, or we're gonna add this feature in that people want. Like, good for you guys.
Like my first experience with like playing something with a mod on it was Killing Floor. You showed me that.
Oh yeah.
When they turned one level into Princess Peach's castle.
Oh yeah, I was playing that on the plane.
Cool.
We were going to California, and I was playing Killing Floor 2 on the plane.
Oh yeah, we played that level. I remember.
Yeah, it's such a small level, but the whole level was just covered in blood, and like people were waiting to go to the bathroom, and I like turn around, and they're all watching my laptop, like fuck. Like it's the same thing with Postal 2. I was playing that on the plane ride to California.
Very appropriate on the airplane.
And it's just like when you have to go buy milk at the grocery store, it's like the first level, and then you like just walk out and all this shit happens. It's such a good game. They still update that game, by the way.
Yeah, they do. They still heavily support it.
It's ridiculous.
Much more than the Postal 3 that they released that they kind of like swept under the rug.
Yeah. That wasn't even them that developed it. That was a separate company. Yeah, that was a separate developing team. They like really like they gave it to a different company to work on.
Oh, okay. That explains a lot of things.
Yeah.
So Project Borealis, again, super excited about that.
Yeah.
I want to quickly mention, there's two more things I want to talk about here before we close off. I discovered this game just today, and I was like, okay, I have to add this in. It's called Boundary. So it's a first-person shooter, like multiplayer first-person shooter. Think Call of Duty, but it takes place in space. Like you are astronauts, and you're in a zero gravity environment, and you're just shoot 'em up, multiplayer fun. I guess is
it just multiplayer?
Yeah, it's as far as I know, it's only multiplayer. But there's a CGI trailer out there somewhere. I think they already did a public alpha. But they show some cinematic type stuff going on in the videos that I watched, like as if it was like a tutorial level or a single player or something. Anyway, yeah.
It's not like the recent game that we tried that was kind of like that. Is Splitgate, where it's like portals and like.
No, so it's actually like it's a realistic depiction of what space battle would be if you were just a bunch of astronauts stranded, like your ship blows up or whatever, and you're just all floating around in space. It's literally just
without anything attached to you, like.
No.
So you just decide to have a battle royale in space.
It's a little weird because it's like you take astronauts that like are flying in and out of a floating spaceship or whatever, but it's like Call of Duty at the same time.
That's like that movie that we watched at your parents'. It's not Endgame. Oh, what is it called? Where they're like floating and have to shoot each other. It's like zero gravity.
Is it like
as well.
Ender's Game?
Ender's Game, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably where they got the idea from.
I want to say like take the. I'm probably gonna get shot for making this comparison, but take the Infinite Warfare Call of Duty. The beginning.
I was thinking that.
Yeah. So that's what it. That's the setting. That's what it looks like. But except you're just freely floating around in a spacesuit, and you have your guns. You can upgrade your guns and stuff like that.
That's so cool though, because like you could like fly through like
Who made it?
I don't know. I didn't get to learn what the company was, but it's called Boundary. Yeah, it looks really sick.
Boundary.
Very good graphics. It was made in Unreal Engine 4, and they really made impressive visual display.
Just PC?
I'm not sure, actually. Again, it's a game I have to look more into. I think next week I'll have some more info on it, but I just found out about it today, and it looks...
Yeah,
no, Evan, you have to look it up right now and tell us.
Oh, because I have one more game I want to talk about, and it's one that, again, I only dipped into this weekend, been wanting to play for a while. Yeah, Trover Saves the Universe is what it's called. So, made by Justin Roiland, co-creator of Rick and Morty. The game is exactly like a Rick and Morty interdimensional cable episode, basically.
Hell yeah.
The dialogue is so funny, and like almost everything is improvised, you can tell. But it's actually like, as a game, it's a good game. Like, it's basically a platformer, but it's designed to be in VR. So there's some gameplay mechanics that require you to actually like move your viewpoint around and stuff like that. And like there's little secrets that are hidden around the level, and you have to actually like really use the camera, look around, and change the angle of where you're placed and stuff to actually really notice stuff.
But it's VR, right?
It is VR. It's designed for VR, but it has the option not to be. So you can play it just on console with a controller and a regular screen.
Oh, that's cool. What'd you guys play it on?
Just on Steam on PC. Plugged in an Xbox controller and played it that way.
That's cool.
But yeah, basically like the way it's set up is that you have all this really crazy over the top story, like a typical Rick and Morty. You take a random planet, and that's the society they live in or whatever, and you're on a crazy mission anyway. But you're called a Chairorpian. You just sit in the chair basically, and you have a controller, and you're controlling Trover. So you're stuck in one you're stuck in one viewpoint basically, and you're fixed in place, and you have to move Trover around, and then you have to like move with teleporting, like some usual VR game, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's mainly the focus about the game is I wasn't too focused on the game. I was focused on the story elements of it, right? Because it really plays out like a typical Rick and Morty story. It's very funny. Very funny.
Yeah, it looks interesting. Christina was really interested too. She wanted to get it, but at first we thought it was only VR.
No,
So,
but you can tell the VR support was kind of like an afterthought. It's definitely designed to be played with VR, because especially the way that you play your character, you're stuck in place. So being able to look around the level with your head is mainly what the game's all about. Anyway, I think that's all I have for today. Is there anything else you guys want to throw in before we call it off?
Not really, no.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we covered
It's a
lot
great
there.
episode.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. All right. Anything we missed, we'll include it next week. We're definitely going to hear more about Boundary. I definitely want to talk about Cyberpunk 2077. There's going to be a lot to say about that. I think hopefully if the new gameplay video gets released in the coming week.
We're getting that new Humble Monthly package next Friday too, so we'll get a bunch of
right.
games. We could play Hellblade right now, and
Actually, Moonlighter, I've played a bit of it.
Mhm.
It was good.
yeah,
Yeah.
I want to play a bit more Moonlighter just to kind of get my thoughts in for that. But I'm excited to see what other games are going to be for Humble Monthly.
For sure. Yep. So lots to do for next week.
Tune in, guys. We had a fun time.
For sure. So we will catch you all next week on the Plus 3 podcast.